Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence. Today we're going to take a look at the Valaverse Action Force Steel Brigade female. This is part of Series 3. This is the fourth and final figure, as voted on by you of the order do these videos. So anyway, I don't pick up the other figures. I don't pick up the Army Builders. It's the exact same body, the exact same base, so you would know exactly what you're getting if I decided to review one. So anyway, we're going to take a look at her, see if you want to add it to your Steel Brigade force. I will compare it to one of the males so you can see how they fit in, how they look together. So before we get started, let's take a second and hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop Valaverse Action Force video, and you would have got inundated the past 4 days with this. But then again, if you're looking at this 3 months down the road, you're going, what are you talking about? They're on like Series 8 already. Anyway, let's take a look at it. I mentioned on all of them that this no longer has the plastic on the inside along with the sheet across it. It actually probably is much better for inbox collectors. I think you can see the figure much better. Also in this one, I will be doing a bath, so a hot bath to see how it moves. If you want to see the other videos, if you want to see how this comes packaged, you can go watch those. I did on all three. I'm not going to do it on this one. It just kind of adds to it. You can see how they're all packaged. But I'm going to do a hot bath before I start messing around with it so you can see exactly how easy it is to move your figures after it's been in hot tap water. So anyway, there she is. She looks really good. It's definitely going to match the other Steel Brigade figures. On the side, you have the artwork. Like I said, I do like this artwork because if you have them all lined up like a book, it's going to look really good because the art tends to go together, unlike, let's say, the classified that don't seem to make any sense. Here, he's lost a cross cell. Now you just have the 4 figures that are in the wave. Then you have the file card, which I absolutely love because it tells us a little bit about the figure. I don't read the comics. I don't know anything about it. The lore, for me, I do add it into my G.I. Joe collection. So I'm using that as my lore, my own headcanon. But if you want to know exactly what it's about, give you a file card so you have an idea. So anyway, let's open her up, see how she is. And then you can decide if this is something you want to add to your Steel Brigade army. Okay, so I just did the hot water bath. I'm going to move her around. Again, I will mention this. All you need is hot tap water. If it's too hot that you can't put your hands in it, okay, then it's the water's too hot. It doesn't need to be boiling. You can see how soft the figures are. All right, so she's completely warm through, and the reason why I suggest doing the bath is because it'll completely heat the figure all the way through. So you can see we just did the knees, we did the elbows. This has been the biggest issue that I've seen online. So I want to be very careful with the ankle rockers. But once you loosen them, you should be good. Now, I do worry from the posts that I've seen that we might have an issue down the road. So everything that we have on the other Action Force, there are no butterfly joints, but that's not really a big issue. It doesn't cause any problems. Here you have your Jean-Claude. Now, I have been complaining about at the hips, they seem to drop down really, really easily, and it definitely does worry me. So, get your hands, and they do pop out, especially if it's warm. Once they're warm, they pop out fairly easy. All right. Now, personally, I just like having 2 trigger fingers, so I'm actually going to leave it on there. All right. Oh, you know what? That's what, somebody asked me. I'll show you in 1 second here. So there's that. So here's my vase of Vala hands. So, oh look, I got a Steel Brigade, I believe, here. So here's the Steel Brigade male figure, or male hand, and here's the female. It's kind of hard to see, but you can definitely see they are different sizes. So Of course, I dropped what I needed. So, there's the two hands. I mean, you could put one on there and you're not really going to notice too much unless somebody points it out. But until then, I gotta find the other hand, but not too worried about it because, hey, look, the vase of Vala hands. That's where Valaverse hands go when they die, to Valahandala. Anyway, okay, so here we have our Steel Brigade female figure. We'll take a look at her. So, that sculpt looks very similar to the male. Alright, same design. They will not fit. They are two different sizes, and they use different neck ball joints here. Alright, I can throw this one on here really quick. Possibly. I did have to heat up, if you didn't see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's back to having super tight. I don't know. So there are some issues with these figures. This female wave, you definitely have to heat it up. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of things that kind of creep back from Series 1. So I'm not going to go drop this in the water. It's the same head. Alright. So, I'll point out again, you can get a T-pose out of this, which you can't out of his other figures because of the way the shoulder hangs over. Big gripe of mine. It's been a big gripe until it gets removed. It will continue to be a gripe, but it's gone on this. So, looking at the face sculpt, you know, it does have the square up here, which looks like it's supposed to have the night vision. And then you got some nice little paint apps. Again, the heads look really nice. All right, so you got like your breathing apparatus. A bunch of different paint apps. It looks good. I don't see any problems with it. Here you have what looks like the spine. I really do like this design. But you have the paint apps. It looks really good. Here's where the knife's going to go. Here's where the two magazines will go. You have your chest plate. I keep hitting this. On a lot of the other ones, this is painted silver, so you do have the clasp. They look really nice. Now, here was pointed out to me that this is on the wrong side. Now, I don't know why they did it, why there's not uniformity, but here you can see the insignia is over there, and why it's directly over the breast doesn't make a lot of sense. And then the Valaverse, the Action Force is on this side on one, and then up there in the middle. So it's like, it's all over the place. So there's no uniformity. Don't really know why, but not that big of a deal. Here's the holster that it holds her sidearm. Again, this is sidearm we've seen numerous times. What they did change about this was they put two little magazines on it, which I like that detail. These ones did not have it, so pretty much you run out of ammo, you're done there. They all use the exact same legs, all the females. My biggest issue has been the drop down hips. They seem to keep dropping down. This one hasn't been bad. All the other ones continue to drop. The knee pads. And some of them, the knee pads are a little scuffed up. These look pretty good. It has these little like shin guards, but they're turned inward. They look really odd. And yes, they are turned inward. It's not my shins that are turned in. And it reminds me of the, early classified figures where the shin guards were inward and just looked kind of odd. But those ones obstructed the feet. This one is just embroidered on here. You have the steel toes. I showed the back. It's got some pockets here. It looks really nice, just like all his figures. So don't have too many issues there. Quickly, we'll take a look at the weapons, if I don't drop them. So they all seem to come with the exact same sidearm. Again, I like the sidearm. It looks kind of futuristic, but it's real world. The only issue is this is like the biggest sidearm that they have, and now you gave them to the smaller figures. So when you do put it in her hand, if I get the trigger finger on there at least. So since the hands are smaller, you really should not have given them the bigger guns. So that's kind of where I have an issue. I like the fact that he said, hey, I'm not going to change the size of the weapons to fit smaller females, but give them smaller weapons. This doesn't look all that bad looking through here on the on the camera, but in hand it looks a little too big. So I'll throw this in here. All right. And then again, extra magazines that slide in there really easily. Now, these ones seem to slide in easily. I swear kill switches did not go in all that easily. We'll quickly take a look at this head. Now, I like the gold. It looks pretty good. It's got black around here. So this one doesn't. So it looks similar. Again, these are the same. I think you kind of went a little more out for the female just to express, females. Here we have the knife. Again, two different paint apps. It does look nice. It looks like it has a nice blade. I mentioned before, I think these stick out too much. I understand it's real world, but a real human, it wouldn't sit the same. These are plastic, so tend to have some issues there. So here we have the same gun that comes with Eclipse. And again, Eclipse comes with the same sidearm, along with kill switch. So clearly a lot of reuse, a lot of real reuse. And there's the magazine that goes in. It looks too small. There's no doubt about it. Mark II Toys really talked about it. Now he's designing the weapon, so I think we're going to see some better weapons coming out. And then here, she is holding the rifle. Again, it doesn't look that bad through here, but you can kind of see exactly how big it is. And of course, I understand that it's going to be a little different. Or I'm sorry, that this is how it would be in the real world, but give them a smaller weapon. I thought kill switch coming with this weapon was a little bit smarter because it is a smaller weapon compared to this. And again, I don't think looking through the camera it does it justice. All right, so here is, actually this is not the weapon that comes with our with the Steel Brigade. I gave him this weapon. He usually has the really big weapon with the I think it's an M4. Oh, I just lost hands. Anyway, I'm kind of losing it here. I have to compose myself. Okay, so this is not the weapon that Steel Brigade normally comes with, but it's the same color scheme. Something like this I think would have fit better with her because it is a smaller weapon just in general. I think it looks better. But again, this is how it's going to be in the real world. So here's how they look together. They use the same paint scheme. And she's not wanting to stand now, right now, is she? So they use the same paint scheme. I'm not going to get this figure to stand. I haven't had any issues with the other ones. And again, they're all the exact same bodies here. Oh my gosh. All right. So same paint scheme for the most part. You can see the colors on the shirts are the same. Same blues, same greens, same black boots. The weapons look the same again. That's not his weapon, but it's the same color scheme. Even at the back, looks very similar. So I do like it. I think it looks good. It's going to fit in with your army if you want. So I'll show you compared to a couple other figures, female figures. So here she is compared to Rogue. Rogue seems a little bit taller, but again, Rogue has this giant hair. The legs, like with Rogue, seem a little bit bigger. And the reason why I'm showing you is that the thing that was kind of crammed down our throats is that, hey, you know what? These are real women that would be in the military, not frail women. Well, I don't really get it here. And then from the front, again, I think the legs look really good. You know, in comparison size, her arms seem a little bit small, but again, it's hard to see through her jacket. She does have a tiny waist because she is a comic book character. Here's our Lady J. Again, she's a little bit smaller. Arms are definitely smaller, but not too much because this is, you know, a shirt that's hanging over it or a jacket or whatever you want to say. Legs aren't that much different. You know, this is a little bit beefier, but seriously, when I look at Lady J, yeah, her arms seem a little small, but her legs and everything are kind of beefy. She's a little bit shorter, but again, I don't want all my figures to be the exact same height. And then I will grab Zarana because she is the newest figure in the line. Now Zarana has a very, very small waist, so I definitely can see the difference. Now you can see on some of my other videos, I have the vest taken off, and I'll show you how to take the vest off in a second. But the legs look a little bit similar again. These are tight pants. These are supposed to be a little bit baggier. From the side, I would say the arms aren't all that different, although she has this guard. She's a little bit shorter. Again, all their figures are going to be the exact same height because it's all in the same buck, other than Pandora, which has a different torso. So they're there compared to some of the other females, you know, from G.I. Joe to Marvel. It's pretty much all that I had. And I wanted to get something that's a little bit newer with the bucks here. So anyway, that's really all she comes with. The heads, the hands. I didn't go over the hands. You know, I got a little discombobulated. So she got 2 cupped hands to hold the rifle. She has 2 fist hands, 2 thumb wrestling hands. Again, when she fell, it knocked a whole bunch. So I gotta find where it's at. Here's one right over here. Not that you can see. And then she has the 2 trigger fingers. I like trigger fingers. You warm them up. I'm not a big fan of this hand. You warm up the trigger fingers or even the thumb wrestling finger, and you can just open the hand, and then it will clasp like that around the weapon. I think it actually looks better, to be 100% honest. So let's wrap this up. There's really not too much more to show. You've seen all the other videos, so you know exactly what we got here. Alright, so there you have it. That's the female Steel Brigade. I did forget to mention, because I wanted to warm her up so you can kind of see what it's like after you give it like just a warm bath. So they changed it. They started taping the stand to the box. I don't know why they did it. Now I gotta pull this out. It's really a pain in the ass. You can go watch the other videos. I got 3 other ones. Go check a look at them. I have a feeling Steel Brigade to me is the one that no one really watches because like, hey, I know what a Steel Brigade is. They all come with the exact same Action Force stand. Again, it says Action Force. It's got a slit up here for the file card, 4 different pegs. It looks really nice if you're just going to stand them in a static pose because you got the file card. But you see how thick that is. If you have them in a display, I hate these stands. They're just too big of a footprint. And if you have them, let's say, like running and stuff, you're going to notice that from a mile away and be like, why is that one raised rather than just having like a smaller, flatter stand? So anyway, this is the figure. Well, I forgot to mention. So this is where the vest comes off. And it's got small little mushrooms. And they actually do close really well. So now that I've looked at all 4 figures, gotta say, I'm not overly impressed. They're not bad. I think there's a lot more hoopla that has been turned on the head, turned on everyone's head, because they talked about how, oh, female figures and it's a full wave. I didn't need a full wave. I never looked at my figures and was like, wow, I need more females. I just want good looking figures. I don't care if they're female or male. It doesn't really matter to me. You could have just put one in with each wave. I mean, it really doesn't matter. You want to do all four? I don't really care. But the talk of the town and how everyone's telling you how great these are, they're very nice to have. But I'm not overly impressed with them. There's nothing that just makes me say, God, you know, like, if I didn't have this, like, my whole collection would be ruined. So there's 4 figures. They all use the exact same legs. And 3 of them use the same body. So there's different heads. Pandora. She has the different torso. Okay? But all in all, I guess we're back to the same thing. A few bucks, lots of figures. That has been the idea for the line so far. They've been running all these figures off $3.50. All the female troopers are going to be on this buck. They're decent. You gotta watch your ankles. This is the first wave that I haven't had any breakage or anything with them. So, I hope that answers your question, whether or not you should run out, grab these figures. They're going to be available on BBTS. They're going to be available on Valaverse. I would assume Entertainment Earth will probably start carrying them if since there's no longer a Dork Side. I believe Zolwick is going to have it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but let me tell you something. The past 2 days, I've now done 4 videos. I've been looking at this thing for quite some time. And you're starting to rehash the same stuff. So if I forgot something, if I missed something, I do apologize. It's a lot of time when you start looking at the same figure over and over and over. But some people want to see each figure individually, and that's what I'm trying to give you. So I do 1 each. So that's it. I'm going to get out of here. The social media is a Punk with Toys on Instagram and Twitter. I'm always on Instagram. If you need to get a hold of me, want to connect with me, ask me questions, that's where to get a hold of me, all right? I will drop a link to the Facebook group page, which will be linked to this video. So if you want to join the Facebook group page, it is Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a Punk with Toys. And last but not least, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a video, especially from Action Force. I just dropped 4 of them, and there'll be more to come. And so far, they haven't given me anything that makes me say, I'm not going to buy the line anymore. Not Super 7, that's for sure. Got the Ultimates, I went, ugh, these are garbage. So, I will say this, these females are kind of going, in my opinion, backwards. Special Deployment Series was awesome. Softer plastic, but not soft. No breakage. Nice and easy to bend and move everything. I was really happy with all of that. So these feel way more like Series 1. That's all I can say. That's my opinion. Not even opinion, it's there. And there have been a lot of breakages that I've seen on the internet about the ankle. So just watch that. Be careful. My suggestion, get these figures, hot water, move them around. You should be good after that. So I'm going to get out of here. Have a wonderful day. Don't leave Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I told you it's been a long couple days. Don't leave YouTube. Watch this video right here and up here. See this here? That is the playlist for Valaverse. And this is probably going to be a Valaverse video. Who knows?